Okay, time for a new video, and whether you are somebody new to my channel or you are returning to my channel to watch this video, it is greatly appreciated. As always, I'm filming this video in one go, so if I stumble over my words moving forwards, apologies about that, and also if the quality of this video is fairly poor as well, if there's any lag, anything like that at all, sadly it cannot be helped, and hopefully it is not too much of an issue for you. This is yet another Junior Eurovision related video here on my channel, and another sort of what we know so far video, but also a general preview of the upcoming 20th anniversary edition of the JESC, which is scheduled to take place on December the 11th, which is just under a month from when I'm recording the video you're watching now, at the Karen Demircian Sports and Concerts Complex in Yerevan, the capital city of Armenia. Today I'm just going to go through what we know so far, and all of the songs, because since my last Junior Eurovision related video, all of the songs have now been released, so I can talk about them in a little bit more detail, give you my personal thoughts, as well as how I think each song will fare next month. And as always, I'm very interested to know what you think as well. Feel free to leave comments below, and check out the links in the description to my other social media pages. Check them out if you so wish. So I've got some notes here that I made earlier today, because some of the songs I'd only listened to in full all the way through once, so I really needed to revisit them, understand them a bit better. In certain circumstances I do need to look up the English translation of the lyrics as well, not that I think lyrics matter too much, I've said that before. But without further ado, I've got information in front of me just to make sure I don't forget anything. Let's see what it says. I do have my television on at the same time because I am a big snooker fan, so I'm watching that as well. Anyway, Junior Eurovision, we know it's the 20th anniversary edition. We know it's going to be at the same venue that staged the 2011 edition. The UK are back after a 16-year absence, but Azerbaijan, Bulgaria, Germany and Russia are not involved. We know the reasons as to why for pretty much all of those nations. The visual design, we know that it is an Armenian-styled spinning top. Spin the magic is the slogan, and we know that the flag of the country in question appears on the top of that spinning top as well, and the rays of light that spin out from it will be in the colours of the country that's performing next, of course. We don't know the running order. That will be determined by the producers of the show in about 3 weeks' time. If you weren't familiar with this, the country that opens the show, closes the show, and where the host nation performs is drawn at random, and it's been that way for a good few years. So it's entirely possible that the favourite to win could open the show. I mean, it's bound to happen at some point, so it'll be interesting to see if it happens this year. As for some other little details before I get into the actual songs, the stage is being constructed as I speak. There's been a few photos that have been circulating online about that. It's mainly just an LED screen, and it looks so much more advanced than the stage we had in 2011 at the same venue, which was essentially quite small with lots of boxes behind the artists. Not the most attractive. Also, of particular interest to me and other British Eurovision-related fans, Junior Eurovision, obviously the UK are involved, which is great, but it's also on BBC One, our main TV station. Absolutely extraordinary, and clearly a signal of intent that the BBC are taking Eurovision-related matters a lot more seriously these days, which is wonderful to see. Anyway, like I said, we don't know the running order just yet, so I'm just going to go through each country in alphabetical order as they are listed here. Let me know what you think on the songs as well, and at the end of this video I'll be telling you, well, I do have a ranking of the songs, but I haven't got it to hand, so I'll have to do it on my whiteboard. I'll do that in a moment. And also I'll be telling you my very early prediction for the actual results. So, Albania, Pakazdiel, my apologies, which means a bit of sunlight, performed by Caitlin Jatta. When this song won the Little Albanian National Final that there was several weeks ago, I think a lot of people weren't impressed. The vocals were getting some criticism, and also, it's a ballad. Albania loves a ballad. And I just think that people were a bit disappointed because of the songs that we'd had so far, this one felt a little bit disappointing. Anyway, I really think it's not as bad as some people have made it out to be. I think it's a very pretty ballad. Yes, maybe it doesn't build up to much. Yes, maybe it doesn't live long in the memory. What I've written here is that there's a bit of piano and echoey sounding vocals, at least to begin with. Simple, pretty, as I've already said. I'm not expecting a lot of love from the public here, not at all. The juries, on the other hand, surely they will appreciate this a reasonable amount. There's not much to fault. I do wonder about the live vocals. I'm not going to be too harsh on the singing voices here because they are children, but I do wonder about the live vocals. Could be the song's downfall. But she has a very unique voice as well. In the studio version, in the music video, which I was rewatching earlier, it's a lovely voice. It's not too over the top. It's not like she's straining to hit certain notes. It feels very effortless. Absolutely wonderful. So that is Albania. If I had to give it a mark out of 10, 10 being brilliant, 1 being poor, I'd probably give it a solid 5.5 or 6 out of 10. It's not going to win, but it's really not that bad. A lot of people have ranked this very low in their top 16s, and I can understand why. It doesn't leave much of an impression, but it's not a bad track. As for the host nation then, Armenia, this is Dance by Nare, which I'm sure I'm mispronouncing, performed in Armenian and English, and this was the last song that was released a couple of days ago at the time of recording this video you're watching now. Kami, it ain't, ladies and gentlemen. This is nowhere near as good as last year's entry, which I really feel was a sort of watershed moment almost for Junior Eurovision. It was just the sort of song that really felt as though it ushered in a new era for the competition almost. It was that standout and that attention-grabbing. This, on the other hand, I don't know. It's not a letdown, but I can understand why people might think that. I've written here that it sounds a bit like K-pop music, and I've seen 1 or 2 other comparisons to K-pop music regarding this particular track online as well over the past few days. I don't really listen to K-pop music, but when I have listened to it, it's got that very sort of buoyant, energetic, agitated sort of feel to it. This just gives me hints of that ever so slightly. I've also written here that there are funky tones to it. Absolutely, it's this sort of electro-funk pop number. Charismatic singer, very much in the mould of Malena, I think it's fair to say. Maybe Malena has been some sort of mentor to her. I've written that it's possibly a letdown for some people. There's a decent beat, it's catchy, but not in the way Kami was catchy. I'm finding it quite hard to describe the sort of similarities and differences here between this Armenian track and last year's Armenian winner. They're in the same sort of vein, but obviously they do sound fairly different at the same time. I just think that this feels like a more junior, almost watered down version of what we had last year. They've tweaked it a bit, and this is the result. I like it, it's a contender to win, but I think there are stronger songs here. Absolutely. But you can have a bop to it, I'm sure people will. Let's move on to France. Well. This French entry does not seem very popular. Very few people have ranked this highly. I wonder why. What is it about this French entry, which is called Oh Maman, Oh Mother, performed by Lisandro, and the song is co-written by Barbara Pravi? What is it about this song that people don't like? Are there just stronger efforts this year? Yes, I would say so. Do people find it irritating? Perhaps. I've written that here in my notes. Again, we have a sort of charismatic singer. It's a swinging number. I've put that it's a little bit underrated because I think it is. The juries might be absolutely charmed by this. It could do very, very well with the juries. Don't rule it out. There's confidence in abundance. Is it irritating? Question mark. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on that. Takes a while to warm up. Quite a few of the songs this year, I feel, don't really get going. Don't really feel the groove, shall we say, until the final third when, to be honest, it's too little too late perhaps. This French entry though, it's fun, it's very apt for Junior Eurovision. I think people will be charmed by him, and if he nails the vocals, I don't really see any reason why this shouldn't be up there. Top 6, top 5, potentially. I can't imagine it's going to do very badly. Then again, I thought Spain would do all right last year, and look what happened there. They got their worst result to date. Could it be France's turn in Yerevan? Perhaps. But anyway, that's Oh Maman. Not a bad track. Not at all. It's very fun. Not too dissimilar to what they had last year. So maybe next year I would like to see something very, very different from France. Next up is Georgia, the favourite to win, I believe. This is Marianne Bigvaba with I Believe. This is a sort of electro-type number. Sounds very professional. Mariam sounds great. Music video is quite interesting as well. Interesting outfits. Georgia have a great history in Junior Eurovision. They've won it more than any other country. And they're on course to maybe win it again. But there is a big but here, which I'll mention in just a moment. In my notes, I've written that this is sort of electro. There are these sort of choppy sounds at the start. You know, it feels sort of like electro, like I said earlier. I don't really know what I'm trying to say here, bear with me. Anyway, there's drums. I like the drums in this song, the beat of it, great vocals, feels very effortless, very professional. Clearly Georgia know what they're doing with the junior contest more than the adult contest. But what is stopping this song from winning is the fact that Georgia's record with the public has not been very good. Ever. Apart from last year, when it wasn't too bad. But really, Georgia does not do well in the public half of the results. I remember a few years ago when the contest was in Georgia, and they did very well with the juries. They finished second overall, but they were let down. Russia won instead. They were let down by a very poor public mark. Now, I believe it's getting a lot of attention, about 300,000 online views or near to that the last time I checked, which is very healthy for Junior Eurovision. And a lot of people are really, really loving this, and I think it's a very strong song. But what is not giving me winner vibes is purely that. The low public marks in the past. It really could happen again. Unless there is a remarkable turnaround, I don't see Georgia winning. But it will challenge for the win. Of that, there is no doubt in my mind. Let's move on, shall we? It's a very strong effort. And to be honest, Georgia, I don't know what they're doing for Junior Eurovision, but they need to do it for the adult competition as well. Let's move on to Ireland. Oh, I haven't got any notes for this one, but what a slice of magic. Solas, meaning light, by Sophie Lennon. What a beautiful track this is, my God. Again, though, it's the public mark. Ireland have fared terribly with the public in Junior Eurovision. And I'm expecting the same. I'm expecting the same. The juries, if they've got any sense about them, they will have this song in the top 6. They should. We'll wait and see. As for the public, this will probably be bottom 5. Wouldn't shock me. Wouldn't shock me at all. Nobody should be surprised if that happens next month. Ireland, you've got to be looking at maybe a grand total minimum of 75 points. That's both marks smushed together. You've got to be looking at least 75. Anything less than that, and I'm sorry, but it's a disgrace. This song is too good to finish anywhere other than the top 6. Certainly the top 10 is very likely, I would say, for this. Brilliant singer, lovely music video. There's a little bit of Celine Dion to it. Certainly the first 2 notes of the chorus, absolutely. Love the melody. Love how gentle this feels. Even the final chorus, which is the most powerful part of the song, it doesn't feel overwhelming. It doesn't feel overwhelming, it doesn't feel over the top, it doesn't feel forced. The Irish language sounds great. Once again, we have a country here that seems to know what they're doing with Junior Eurovision more than the adult contest. What is that all about? Anyway, Ireland. Absolutely love it. I think it's a beautiful song and it deserves a lot of love. But I'm worried about that public mark, because it seems to me in Junior Eurovision that certain countries suck all the focus. I'm talking about Spain, I'm talking about Poland. Points, 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 go those countries' way. Year after year after year after year. It's about time somebody else got some love. Moving on, Italy. Ah, yes indeed. Blah 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 by Chanel Delicta. This is not bad at all. It's very junior. Maybe it feels too juvenile for some tastes, I don't know. Chanel seems like a lot of fun. The music video is very interesting. She's wearing this sort of astronaut helmet at one point. Something like that. And there's dance moves. There's a whole lot going on here. I couldn't really follow it. It's catchy. It's fun. But really, this is the sort of song that would have done better 10 years ago. Now that Junior Eurovision has evolved, and there's no doubt about it, a lot of the songs maybe aren't strictly junior, this is going to fall to one side. So you're probably looking at mid-table. But it's quite cheerful stuff. It's really not too bad, and if she can nail this live, great. What I'm not so keen on is the sort of blend of Italian and English here. I've got to be honest, I couldn't really understand what she was saying in English. Maybe that's just me. That jarring of languages, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. There's another song here as well where I'm not sure it works terribly well. But Italy, not bad, but not going to win. As for Kazakhstan, this might win, and it will be another big claim. If indeed Kazakhstan do win, they will claim that they should be in the adult competition, which they should be. I mean, they've done very well for a good few years now in the junior edition. This is David Sharlin with Girana Mother Earth. Great singer. Sounds ultra familiar to songs I've heard before. I've actually written here that when I listened to it again earlier today, it reminded me of Apollo by Time Bell, the Swiss entry for the adult competition in 2017. The melody, the verse, I don't know, it just reminded me of that. I've put here that the melody is super familiar and the song is nothing groundbreaking. It builds up quite nicely, packs a punch. It's a vocal powerhouse performance by David. Juries should eat this up. The public maybe not quite as much, but still, top 6 beckons for Kazakhstan once again. Takes a while to warm up, but the payoff is fairly satisfying, and the staging, you know, there's good potential here. I think it will just be him on stage, perhaps. Yeah, it could be really, really great. Not one of my favourites at all, but it's a decent effort once again. As for Malta, their national final, and I don't really follow Junior Eurovision national finals at all, but I listened to some of the songs, and my God, I was not impressed. But this is the one that came out on top, Diamonds in the Skies by Gaia Gambutsa. They revamped it, and now it feels more like an electro-pop number. I think the revamp was successful. Still don't love it, though. Not sure this is going to do terribly well. It's got a fairly decent beat. The lyrics I'm maybe not so keen on. ABC 1, 2, 3. You know how it is. I wonder how they're going to stage this. It's one of those songs that I think could be really difficult to stage in an impressive, memorable manner. So I am interested to see how it comes across live. If it's on early in the running order, not that the running order matters much with Junior Eurovision, but if it is on early in the running order, I think you've got to be looking at a bottom half finish, absolutely. I know the juries love a bit of Malta from time to time, but I just don't think this is strong enough to do well. I like her. I think her voice is alright. I don't know. There's something lacking for me here. There's not really a wow moment. There's not really a moment in the song where I'm incredibly engaged and enthralled by what I'm listening to. But the live performance could change matters, of course. Moving on to the Netherlands. Tonight will be bellissimo. Oh my God, it's catchy stuff. It's Luna with La Festa. We all know it. This is a serious contender to win. What's stopping this song from winning? It's the juries. They may listen to this and think, no. I mean, I know it's a junior contest, but the juries might listen to this and think it's a little bit too silly for me. Maybe. It depends on how conservative they are. The Netherlands have competed every single time Junior Eurovision has been staged, but they've only won once, and that was by a narrow margin. Click Clack by Ralph Machenbach all those years ago. This should challenge for the win. It's very fun. I've seen some people say that the lyrics are bad. I've seen some people say that the melody and the song in general is irritating. But for Junior Eurovision, this is bang on the money as far as I'm concerned. It's fun. It puts a smile on my face, even though I'm pushing 30. I am clearly not the target audience for this song, but I can enjoy it. She's got moves in the music video. There's a bit of choreography, but it's not really wild or ambitious. She's performing with a smile on her face. However, it's the blend of the languages again, Dutch, English, and some Italian phrases. It feels to me at times as though the lyrics don't quite match the tune itself. I'm not describing this terribly well, but maybe you can see where I'm coming from here. It's almost as if there are certain moments in the song where the lyrics need to be changed in order to sort of flow more nicely with the actual melody of the track. I don't know. It's a really minor thing, and it only happens once or twice. Otherwise, this is top-notch stuff, and I usually like what the Netherlands bring to the JESC. It's a similar story this year. North Macedonia now, haven't got any notes for this one. It's Lara featuring Jovan and Irina with Shivatot e pred mene. Again, we've got a blend of languages here, Macedonian and English. Does it work? Not 100% sure it does. I prefer how it sounds in English, actually, over Macedonian, but again, a really minor thing. Wouldn't it be great if North Macedonia won this contest at some point? It would be great to see a contest in Skopje at some point. That would be fantastic. So we've got a trio here. The guy, I don't want to sound rude here, but I feel as though he was absolutely thrown in at the last minute. He comes in, raps for a bit, clears off, we barely see him again. It feels like such... not a waste of time, that really sounds harsh, but I don't really know why he's there. This song would be perfectly fine if it was just the two girls. They're having fun, there's a bit of choreography with umbrellas, you know, they're having a good time. People have called this a disaster bop. I think it's more a bop than a disaster. Is this going to get a lot of love? Probably not, but again, it's not half bad. You know, it really isn't that bad a song. Let's move on to Poland. Well, Poland are big hitters in Junior Eurovision. They've won twice, nearly won last year. Points, 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 always go Poland's way. It is of no surprise to me, and probably of no surprise to you, that Poland's music video for To the Moon by Laura is one of the most watched Junior Eurovision tracks of the year, if not the most watched. Always the way. You know full well that this is going to be up there challenging for the win. Then again, I've not seen many people say that this is a contender to win, which is interesting. Do you think Poland could win this year? Because I think they're in with a chance. The revamp, unlike with Malta's, I'm not such a fan of this one. It seems to me that they've really diluted it, if you see what I mean. It's almost as if they've sucked the power out of it, and now it feels a little bit more plain. I don't know. It's not quite doing the business for me in the way that it did when she performed it live all those weeks ago. I've written here, I've actually written that it's a poor revamp. It's not a poor revamp, I'm just not massively impressed with it. It's lacking oomph. That oomph has gone, I'm afraid to say. There's not really much of a payoff at the end. There's no wow moment again. I'll be saying that again before the end of this video, no doubt, with some other songs. I like her voice, the final note, the final moments of this song, very nice. And certainly it's decent enough to listen to. I'm not bored by it. But Poland have had far better songs than this in the past. Doesn't really matter though, because you know this will get a lot of love. And I would not be surprised next month if it's the same old story. Poland, 90 points. Ireland, great song, as I've already said. 20 points. Wouldn't be surprised. Should it be the other way around? That's up for debate. But we know that this Polish song probably going to finish in the top 6 somewhere. And it's not a bad track. Not bad at all. Let's move on to Portugal. Well, this is very different, ladies and gentlemen. This is Nicolas Alves with Anos 70, which is performed in Portuguese, specifically Brazilian Portuguese. Hello. This has a sort of old school, slight rock vibe to it, which I can appreciate. I listened to this song all the way through for only the second time earlier today. It's really not too bad, you know. I think it's going to grow on me after the contest. Do I think this song is going to challenge for the win? Absolutely not. Do I think this song could finish last? Absolutely yes. But even if it does finish last, it doesn't mean that it's a bad song. It doesn't mean that it'll be a really bad performance on the night. We have to remember that last year, Simão Oliveira with Urapash, nobody was really expecting that song to do terribly well, and yet it was third, not far off second in the public half of the results. Absolutely remarkable for the type of song it was, this old school ballad. Could Portugal be on course for something similar again this time around? I doubt it. But you never know. Based on last year's outcome, you never know. I've written here that he's got a bit of grit to his voice. He's got a really nice voice, actually. In the chorus, there's that grit, but there's also that sort of dreaminess to his voice. Very, very good. I just don't know if this will make much of an impression, especially if sandwiched between two more you know, much more expressive entries. You know, if it's, I don't know, if it goes France, Portugal, Spain, you know, poor old Portugal, poor old Nicholas, he might be forgotten about very, very quickly. Where do I think this song is going to finish? Well, I'll tell you at the end of this video. It's not bad, really not bad, is it? But are young people, are 13-year-olds in Georgia going to absolutely adore this? Probably not. Let's talk about Serbia. This is also a very different song. It's Katarina Savic with Svet bez granica, performed in Serbian. This feels a bit classical. Love her voice, love her outfit in the music video. Really nice. Hopefully she'll wear something like that on the night because I think it really suits her. Suits the song. The instrumentation here is some of the best of the year, I would say. I think listening to this song without the lyrics, without her voice, it would be really, really relaxing and chilled out to do that. She plays the violin at one point, I believe, and then all of a sudden she's got a trombone. When was the last time we had a trombone at a Eurovision event? I remember Moldova had one, I think, years ago. I can't remember the last time we had a trombone at Junior Eurovision. Maybe somebody can tell me. Anyway, this is also a bit of a grower. I feel as though I will appreciate it and like it more after the contest next month. Will she have the trombone on stage? Perhaps. She won't be playing it live, of course, if so she might look a bit silly, who knows. Again, doesn't leave much of an impression. This feels very soft. At one point, the instrumentation is a bit like Nocturne, the winner for Norway back in the mid-90s. It does give off that vibe. Serbia are clearly trying to do something different this year. I'm not sure it's going to work, though. Again, will 12-year-olds in France think Katarina's effort is the best song of the night? Probably not. As such, a bottom half finish beckons. Let's talk about Spain. People are loving this. It's Carlos Iges with Señorita. This is Latin pop. Feels quite mature. He's dancing about in the music video with his crew. No doubt the live performance will be something in that vein as well. There's choreography, as I just said. It's nothing new, nothing groundbreaking. If anything, it's incredibly predictable stuff from Spain this year. And I've been watching a ton of videos where people have ranked the songs, their top 16. And this does not stand out. Not at all. Not to me. Does not stand out. Maybe it's because of the order of the songs in whatever video it is I'm watching. Or maybe it's just that I'm not loving this track. I really don't know. He sounds good. He's moving about well. This is clearly going to do very well in terms of the online vote. The juries will probably appreciate this a reasonable amount too. Top 5 result beckons. Is it a winner? I'm not sure. It's a tough year, and I think there are stronger songs. Absolutely. I really don't have much else to say about it. I feel as though Spain... I'm thinking about the early years of Junior Eurovision as well. They've not really sent anything utterly, utterly different from each other. All of the songs that they've ever sent, apart from perhaps Marte, they all sort of blend into one just a little bit. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. Next year, rock. Something different, maybe, from Spain. That goes for the adult competition too. I'd like to see something really perhaps uncharacteristic for Spain next year. Anyway, that's enough about that. Ukraine are next. Zlata Zionka with Nezlamna Unbreakable. This was the first song, I think, that we had for Junior Eurovision this year. My God, I cannot see Ukraine doing what they did in the adult competition. I absolutely can't see it happening one bit. This song is fine, but it's not the sort of song I'm going to listen to terribly often. Not many people have ranked this highly at all. It is on the forgettable side. I don't know if we're getting a revamp. I think the revamp could work wonders. I'm interested to see the staging as well. But this might be the weakest song of the year. I'm sorry. I've said it. There we are. It's out there. I think this could be the weakest song of the year. I'm just looking at all of the other songs, thinking about them now, and they've all got something about them that makes them stand out from the field. You know, Albania has the vocals, Armenia has the dancing, France has the charisma, Georgia has the sound of the track, I guess, Ireland has the beauty, Italy has the slight campness, I guess, Kazakhstan, the power, Malta, the electro side. I don't know, but Ukraine, it's just lacking. I'm sorry to say it, it is lacking. And if this song finishes anywhere near the top 6, I'd be absolutely gobsmacked. It's not a bad song, but it is not on the same level at all as some of the other tracks we've got here. It feels very, not monotone, not plain, it just feels very sort of there. Nothing exciting happens, nor am I really nodding off to sleep at the same time. I really have nothing to say about this. I'm really sorry to say it. It's just not the sort of song that I think should be anywhere near challenging for the win whatsoever. I'd be amazed if the juries were really going big for this, and the public too. Ukraine are capable of better than this. However, I must say, it is very nice to see them take part, considering what's been going on politically over there. They could have easily withdrawn. As for the UK, I've already spoken about the UK's entry in the previous video. This is Freya Sky, star in the making with Lose My Head. This is mature, pop, current, radio friendly. She's performing it live for the first time during Children in Need about 2 weeks from now, or next week, or this week. I haven't got a poxy clue when it's happening, but I'm going to be watching it because I'm really interested to see what she sounds like live. Music video's good, red outfit, other girls around her bopping away. Seems completely effortless. This will be challenging for the win. It's a great comeback. It's the first time the UK's actually had an up-tempo track in Junior Eurovision. Our previous 3 efforts years ago were all ballads, so this is a long time coming. It's good stuff, and it's catchy, it feels very professional, and the way she's interacting with the camera in the music video, it's like she's been doing this for years. Like she's a pro. Fantastic. I have nothing else to say about it. So, with that being said, let's rank the songs, shall we? This is going to be super duper rough, but let's give it a go. So, Albania, lovely ballad. Armenia, maybe a little bit of a letdown for some. France, a tad underrated. Georgia, yeah, that's not bad. Ireland, terrific. Italy, I'm going to put that there because I do like it. Kazakhstan, that's going there. Malta, that's going there. Netherlands, that's going up here. North Macedonia, I'm looking at my writing here and I can barely read it, ladies and gentlemen. Macedonia, yeah, I think that's going to go there. Poland is going to go probably there. Portugal, I do like that track, but I can't rank it too highly, so it's going to have to go there. Serbia, that's going to go there. Oh, hang on a minute. Whoa, 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 whoa. Portugal, Serbia. Ukraine, might as well put them there. Spain, that's going to go there for now. And UK is going to go there. So, very rough, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Bottom to top, Ukraine, Serbia, Portugal, Albania, Malta, Kazakhstan, North Macedonia, Spain, Poland, Georgia. So Georgia is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th for me at the moment. 6th is Armenia, France 5th, Italy 4th. Yes, maybe a little high for you, but I do like it. Ireland 3rd, UK 2nd, Netherlands 1st. My God, it's a close run thing though. Usually I have a pre-contest favourite, and this goes for the adult competition as well. And it stays that way. But this time, it's that close. Super duper close, ladies and gentlemen. I think the UK will end up being my winner of this year's Junior Eurovision Song Contest, but the Netherlands is pushing Freya close, and I love Ireland. That could be staged so well. But if Banshee a few years ago, and I love that song, if Anna Kearney couldn't get the points, Sophie Lennon's not going to get the points either. Banshee was a terrific song, and it was absolutely shafted in the results. I'm expecting the same for Ireland this year. That would be incredibly undeserved, but also incredibly unsurprising. As for my actual prediction of the results, and you'll have to bear with me here as I make a few little things here. Typing. Oh, come on now. You can actually. What is going on? You can take a look on my Twitter page, ladies and gentlemen. I do post on there every now and then pictures and rankings and lists and what have you. Where are we looking here? Aha! Yes, this is a very, very rough prediction that I made yesterday, or rather 2 days ago. So bottom to top, 16th Portugal, 15th Albania, 14th Serbia, 13th Malta, 12th Ukraine, 11th North Macedonia, 10th Italy, France 9th, not sure about that, Ireland 8th, 7th Spain, Poland 6th, Kazakhstan 5th, Armenia 4th, Netherlands 3rd, Georgia 2nd, and the UK 1st. So as of right now, I am predicting that the UK will win Junior Eurovision next month in Armenia, with Georgia 2nd and the Netherlands 3rd. And right now, for me personally, my winner is the Netherlands, the UK 2nd, and Ireland are 3rd. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all I've got to say for this video. Apologies if the quality wasn't that great. Let me know your thoughts on anything Junior Eurovision related, or indeed adult contest related, because we are getting news through quite regularly about that as well. And I'll be back at some point soon with more Eurovision related content on my channel. I should say that my intention next month is to watch the contest on television for the first time in years, and also react to the results as they come in. I'm not sure about doing that yet, but it more than likely will happen. Until next time, as I said, take care of yourselves, stay safe. I'm going to watch some more snooker. Bye for now.